Hey guys, it's Sadugdam again here, back again for another episode of Odds and Ends for you guys. Today we're going to be covering an interesting topic on today's Odds and Ends, and that's two petite Sega Saturn shooters, which practically have no footage on YouTube, haven't been discussed or even seen by most people, and that's for good reason. This is actually because Konami buried hidden shooters within one of their really early and very popular dating sim series, and that's Tokimeki Memorial. These shooters are bite-sized games which could stand on their own if they were ever developed into bigger games. Additionally, these shooters were never officially released in any other fashion by Konami. These shooters were left to the depths of gaming obscurity where only a select amount of people would ever see them. These shooters are TwinBee Time Attack and Psyth, and despite being bite-sized, they're very high quality, very addicting, and lots of fun. So without further ado, let's delve into this episode of Odds and Ends. So first, let's break things down a bit. It all starts with the company, Konami. Now, anyone who knows and loves shmups knows that Konami is one of the companies synonymous with the genre, as they have produced many iconic games and series such as Gradius, Parodius, Salamander, and TwinBee, among many others. Now, it might seem weird for Konami to craft many exclusive shooters to put in a dating sim as hidden extras, but it is important to remember that this is an era where Konami was at their prime, in the faraway past of the 90s. Konami was known for taking many chances during this time, so with that context, it's not so out of the norm for Konami to do something like this. Next, let's discuss the dating sim in question, Tokimeki Memorial. Now, the Tokimeki Memorial series is a long-running and fairly popular Japanese dating sim series developed by Konami, with the earliest game in the series appearing on the PC Engine in 1994. The Tokimeki Memorial series has gone on to span many games and systems, and games are still coming out for the series more recently on mobile phones. There was even an anime adaptation as well. The games for the most part are dating sims. In this episode, we are mainly going to be focusing on the Saturn version, Tokimeki Memorial Forever With You, and who knows, we may cover the other versions down the road when I have the means to check them out. Now, the core of the game involves the player going about their average daily life of attending high school and all the fun stuff of being a teenager and trying to manage school life with trying to romance this wide cast of girls. The player will have to focus on scheduling, dating, and stat building. The gameplay is very non-linear as the player has full control on what and when they feel like doing certain things. Players can choose to do certain tasks to raise stats, attend school clubs, talk with and date possible love interests, or rest. Many events and minigames will happen depending on the time and stats of the character. Ultimately, the ending you get after 3 in-game years pass is indicative of the affection level of each of the girls, and the one with the highest at the end will confess their love. I wish I could talk more with regards to the story, but being in Japanese, I obviously have absolutely no idea what's going on in the story. But to be honest, I could actually see myself getting into this game or any main game in the series if they were ever translated. But after all, I am a sucker for simulation and stat building if I do say so myself. Now let's have a little more context about the series itself. Tokimeki Memorial is actually pretty well known for featuring tons of minigames across the many various games in the series, some of which are quality enough to be their own standalone games if Konami ever decided to craft them into more than just minigames, as is the case with these two shooters hidden in Tokimeki Memorial Forever With You. Now, I mentioned before that we are focusing on the Saturn version for this episode, but the PC Engine and PS1 versions also feature exclusive shooters, and these shooters are different for each version. All versions of the first game feature TwinBee. The PC Engine version has TwinBee Returns, and the Saturn and PS1 versions have TwinBee Time Attack. The PC Engine exclusive game is a horizontal scrolling shooter called Force Gear, and the PS1 exclusive shooter is a 3D shooter called Stardust Symphony EX. Lastly, the Saturn version features a horizontal scrolling shooter, Psyth. Now, these shooters are obtained within the game by attending the computer club and maxing out what is presumably the tech or computer stat to 999. This is quite the tedious and repetitive process, but it's worth it because these bite-sized shooters are really high quality and something very unique, and may be worth checking out for the most die-hard of shmup fans. Check out the video description below for my mini guide / walkthrough on how to specifically unlock these shooters. So finally, let's check out these exclusive shooters. First, let's check out TwinBee Time Attack. As the name suggests, this is a time attack version of TwinBee. TwinBee is one of Konami's more recognizable shmup series, known for its very cute cute and colorful presentation and upbeat music. Now this game is specifically what's referred to as a caravan shooter. For those not familiar with caravan shooters, it refers to shooters that are based around brief sequences of enemies and or bosses with the main objective of trying to score as many points or clear a certain amount of stages in the fastest time or set duration. The name is derived from Hudson Soft's caravan festivals, which were held from the mid 80s to early 90s. TwinBee Time Attack is your typical TwinBee game, consolidated into bite-sized levels with bosses at the end of each stage. The game is based off of a combination of Datana and Poppin' TwinBee. The game is a very colorful vertical scrolling shooter with some creative enemy designs and very fun bosses. The game features lots of nice animations, especially with the bosses. Just like other TwinBee games, you can shoot clouds which drop bells that you can collect for power-ups, or you can choose to juggle and shoot the bells, changing their color and respective power-up type. You have a standard shot which can be charged up by holding it down to release a more powerful shot. You can also shoot missiles which can hit ground enemies. The bosses are lots of fun to fight and are all unique in their own right. Take the second stage boss for example. This boss can only be damaged by shooting his opening, but as you shoot him he will rotate. You then have to counteract his rotation by shooting on the left and right side of him to rotate him so his opening is available to shoot again. This is something I absolutely adore with the series in general, as it's very creative boss fights. The game also features rankings and button layout options. TwinBee Time Attack is a very fun bite-sized version, which feels more like a boss rush mode and is quite addicting trying to see how fast you can clear all the stages. Next, let's go ahead and check out Psyth. This is a Saturn version's exclusive shooter, and honestly one of the best of the Tokimeki Memorial shooters, and the one that really deserved to become something even bigger and released as its own standalone shooter for the Saturn. Psyth is a horizontal scrolling shooter that shares some similarities to Konami's Salamander series. Psyth is absolutely awesome. Not that many care about stories in shooters, but Psyth actually does have a story, some built-in instructions, a test mode, and a button assignment screen. First off, the visuals are fantastic in Psyth. The visuals are very colorful and highly detailed, featuring really different enemy designs and very nice animations. I especially love the detail when the ship flies over the water and has this water breaking animation. The game takes place predominantly underwater and gradually climbs out of the water into the sky, where you will eventually fight two bosses. The overall design of the game is actually quite refreshing and not your stereotypical space setting. The gameplay is actually quite in-depth and borrows inspiration from other Konami shooters. First of all, you have your standard normal shot. You also have these two options which rotate around your ship, partially protecting you, but you can then shoot these options out, which then act like homing missiles, attacking all the enemies within range. You can then call back these options by holding down the same button you used to shoot them out. You can actually change your shot style between three settings: slow, normal, and fast. Slow gives you a much wider angle shot that also shoots backwards but is the slowest shot. Normal is your semi-wide shot at a standard speed, and fast is your typical narrow and fast shot. These various shots are very necessary in certain situations and areas. The gameplay in general is insanely frantic as you'll be alternating between shot styles while managing your options. Your main goal in Psyth is to beat the entire stage without losing all your lives. The game, although bite-sized in length, is very challenging and will take you many tries to be able to clear the game. I honestly still haven't been able to clear it yet. I keep dying on the bosses. But it's that addicting nature of each time you play it, you start to get a little bit further and you begin to memorize the stage very well. Psyth in particular really deserved its own full game, and if it did have a full game, it could stand up there with some of the best horizontal shooters on the platform. So there you have it guys, I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look and learning about these very obscure Sega Saturn shooters. To think that Konami would hide and develop mini shooters to put within a dating sim is certainly one of the more weird topics out there. And honestly, these shooters really did deserve to be their own full games. But this is an excellent example of a company in their prime who was willing to experiment, take chances, and simply have fun. A company which has sadly gone on to lose touch of what made them so great to begin with. Well guys, until we delve into the depths of gaming obscurity once again, this has been another Odds and Ends, and I want to thank you guys for watching as always. Till next time guys, please take it easy. Bye guys.